Browns' Shedeur Sanders, keeping the focus where it needs to be while awaiting an opportunity. On the practice field, Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders is doing more waiting than throwing, at least in competitive team drill situations. It's been sort of the same on the periphery, too. When Sanders was escorted from the locker room to the team's training camp interview tent Friday morning, he chose to wait on linebacker Jerome Baker to finish his group interview rather than take to the empty podium opposite the veteran. As arguably, but probably inarguably, the most popular fourth-string quarterback in early training camp history, Sanders seems comfortable with his new and at least semi-awkward place in Cleveland's remade and evolving quarterback situation. For sure, it's a respect thing, Sanders told the media on letting Baker finish. I know a lot of people want the content. I know I'm a producer, so I never want to make anybody feel any type of way about anything. So it was important that he gets everything he needs to say out, and everybody captures what he has. And now I'm here. In April, the Browns selected Oregon quarterback Dillon Gabriel late in the third round. That extended Sanders' surprisingly lengthy wait until day 3 of the draft, when the Browns traded up 22 spots in the 5th round to select the former Colorado quarterback and add a 4th competitor to the league's least certain quarterback situation. Sometime in the next several weeks, there will, at the very least, be a temporary winner. The Browns have an extra first-round pick in next year's draft. And in what might be a transition year on several fronts, there are no guarantees with any of the 4 quarterbacks currently on the practice field. As was the case in the spring, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett are splitting most of the starters' reps. Gabriel is currently ahead of Sanders, both when the Browns divide into 2 fields to maximize reps and when the team runs through its early practice drills. On each of the first 2 days, Sanders had to throw to an equipment manager during early drills because all of the team's available receivers had already taken their turns. Dating back to the spring, Sanders is the only one of the 4 who hasn't taken at least some reps with the team's number 1 offense. He said he doesn't feel down or left out about that because it's out of my control. And he said that he's primarily focused on trying to maximize from a mental standpoint as he waits his turn on the practice field and studies his craft in the meeting room. Sanders got 4 plays Thursday to end the team's red zone 11-on-11 situation. An errant snap killed the first play, and an offside rusher blew up the second. The defense recorded a sack on the 3rd play, and another shaky snap preceded a handoff on the 4th play. Life at the bottom of the depth chart can be anything but glamorous. I would say, I'm just learning every day, Sanders said. Of course, I'm learning different things. I know the opportunity will come, and whenever it comes, I want to be able to know the ins and outs and know the full everything. So I don't want to make too many mistakes when it's my time. Through 2 days of practice, all 4 Cleveland quarterbacks have taken 9 reps in 7-on-7 settings. Sanders has taken 12 reps, 7 called passes, in 11-on-11 settings, and 3 of those came in an opportunity period after the conclusion of full practice Thursday. Browns coach Kevin Stefanski wants to get the fullest and fairest evaluation of his quarterbacks, so he's been adding competitive periods to the practice schedule since the start of rookie minicamp in May. We're trying to maximize every minute we have with these young men and get them ready, Stefanski said. I think Shedeur does a nice job of keeping the main thing. He's worked very hard in the building, in the meeting room, in the weight room. He's working hard and keeping his head down. Attention that comes with all this is great, but Shedeur does a great job of keeping the focus where it needs to be. Now, the Browns are entering the final phase of their quarterback competition while also preparing for the upcoming season. Stefanski has scheduled joint practice sessions ahead of the preseason games in Carolina and Philadelphia, and Friday marked the team's first camp practice open to the public. For the next 4+ weeks, every on-field part of the competition will be documented and, in some form, broadcast. Sanders has long been comfortable with the spotlight. Since reporting to camp last week, though, he said he's been cut off from the world, except for some phone calls with his former Colorado teammates. He's been busy with meetings, the playbook, watching video, and trying to be as prepared as possible for his reps, whether they come 1 snap or 4 snaps at a time. When I get out there, I'm not thinking about anything external, Sanders said. I'm thinking about more in the organization, thinking about getting the play calls, executing my job, doing what I've got to do. The morning whistle cut through the mist at the Cleveland Browns practice fields, a sharp, familiar sound that signaled another day of camp. Cleats clattered across the turf, coaches barked orders, and the competition, always present, always humming, filled the air like static. Out near the far hash marks, Shedeur Sanders adjusted the chin strap of his helmet and stepped into line with the second-team offense. To the fans pressed against the fences, he was the future they'd been dreaming of. To the coaches, he was a work in progress. And to Sanders himself? "I'm keeping the focus where it needs to be," he said after practice, voice calm, eyes unwavering. "That's on my job, my reps, my growth. The rest, it'll come." It hasn't been easy. The rookie quarterback arrived in Cleveland with a shadow and a spotlight, his last name etched in NFL lore thanks to his father, and his own college tape filled with moments that felt ripped from video games. But the league doesn't hand out first-team snaps just for potential, and this camp has been a test of patience as much as talent. While veterans command the huddle in the main drills, Sanders spends most sessions leading the backups. He's often seen on the outer field, running plays with receivers fighting for roster spots, throwing into the teeth of a defense built around hopefuls and long shots. Yet anyone watching closely notices the intensity he brings to every throw, every cadence, every step in and out of the pocket. There's no slouching, no sulking, just a young quarterback turning the margins into a stage.